You're listening to The Manning Report with your host, James David Manning. The news behind the headlines.
Is this, or how should I say this? Is this not a sign of the tribulation? Now remember, I said to you a few moments ago that if Maxine Waters or Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden wanted to be able to take Trump down, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because this is as plain as the nose on somebody else's face. Tribulation Trump calls Bernie Sanders Crazy Bernie. He calls Joe Biden Sleepy Joe. Were they to simply say, "You're Tribulation Trump," immediately it would stop him dead in his tracks. He'd have no place to go. And not only that, but they would be using God's terminology, or Maxine Waters could do it, Elijah Cummings. They're not going to do it because they don't have ears to hear. And the reason why I succeed is because I use the name that God gave. God gave him that name, Tribulation Trump. But further, are we in the tribulation? Are we? Elder Smith, Waverly Marsh, Ruth Brown, God has not used the word tribulation. Jesus has not used the word tribulation. Now listen to me very carefully. Jesus has not used the word tribulation since he spoke it there in the desert some 2,000 years ago before the 12 disciples, and he explained to them the Great Tribulation. He explained to them what it was. When he spoke it to me nearly 3 years ago, that was the first time that God used it. I have the Bible here now. When he spoke it there in the garden, in the desert, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. He spoke it then, and it's been 2,000 years since he's used the word tribulation. Now, preachers have preached it. The Bible demonstrates it. Sunday school teachers have taught it. Students have read it. Atheists and non-believers have all read the word. But God, his name is Jesus, never spoke it again until he spoke it to me. And he put the word tribulation in front of the word Trump. Not President Trump, but Tribulation Trump. So, were Maxine Waters, Al Green, congressman from Texas, Elijah Cummings from Maryland, Gerald Nadler, New York, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, and the whole lot of you, were you to simply just refuse to call him president, call him Tribulation Trump, you can defeat him, but you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it because of your own individual fears. You are afraid of him, and you are afraid of people. And Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders and Elijah Cummings and Maxine Waters, the whole crowd of you, Adam Schiff, the reason why you will not do it is because you are afraid of what people will find out about you if you actually do attack him. And I'm warning America that you are too afraid of him to beat him. You're too afraid of him to defeat him. But Tribulation Trump, say it, everybody. If it bothers you that this man is squandering the resources of our democracy and has burned the Constitution with the flames of hell, if it bothers you that he walks and talks like a demon and acts like a demon, call him Tribulation Trump. Join the chorus of those of us that are victorious. Call him Tribulation Trump. That's all you've got to do to have power over him. Tribulation Trump watches me daily because he knows right now I'm the only man that he knows that has power over him. And he knows this because he saw the power I exerted over Barack Hussein Obama when I called him the long-legged Mac Daddy. Trump knows, and he's praying. He is praying that the news media don't pick up on this. He's praying that your ears are closed and your eyes are shut, that you do not hear that I'm telling you, I'm giving you power to call him Tribulation Trump. He watched from his tower on Fifth Avenue, year after year after year, as I said, the long-legged Mac Daddy, Obama, the long-legged Mac Daddy, Obama. And he knew even in his bathroom, on his golden toilet, that God had given me power. And he knows that if you will say, Tribulation Trump, Tribulation Trump, Tribulation Trump, Al Green, Maxine Waters, Elijah Cummings, Adam Schiff, Gerald Nadler, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Tribulation Trump, Tribulation Trump. If you say it, you got power. So we wanted to get that expression out to you as well. But is this not a sign from God that the Japheth world has sank into darkness, and the Western world, which is Japheth and white, is now sitting in darkness? The sun has set. The sun has set. Years ago, Great Britain, in its time of colonization, touted that the sun never sets on the British Empire. And while they'd colonized and put into slavery in India and Africa, down in Jamaica, the Falkland Islands, and all over the Caribbean, the people of Great Britain declared the sun never sets on Great Britain because she was everywhere, but not anymore. The sun has set on the Western world. But when the sun sets one place, it rises somewhere else. And now, right now, it's rising on China and North Korea, two of the up-and-coming leaders. And it's significant to know that these are not white people. They're Hamites. These are not Jewish people. They're Hamites and Canaanites, upon where the sun is now rising in the east, the house of the rising sun. The Animals song from years ago is now rising in the east, and I'm God's messenger. The sun is rising. It's rising on Japan as well. But these are the new world leaders for the time being, and they'll move further into the power of the tribulation. But having said that, so I explained to you, we've never seen a time like this. No, we have never, ever seen a time when no prognosticator, the university professors, the Harvards, the Princetons, the Yales, the Stanfords, they've all come, Woodward and Bernstein, the Maggie Habermans, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the CNN, the Fox, the ABC, the George Stephanopoulos, the 60 Minutes, to Meet the Press, and nobody has an answer. It's all chatter, 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 and no one has an answer. I think one of the ironies of it is that the people, the poor people of the South, think that power has come to them. They're better off down in the coal mines of West Virginia with lanterns. They have a better chance of escaping the wrath of God and the primrose path to hell that Trump is leading them to. They're better off all going down to the deepest coal mine in West Virginia than have any salvation in Tribulation Trump. Darkness is upon America, so nobody knows. There is no light coming from Congress. There is no light coming from our courts. There is no light coming from our executive branch. There is no light coming from Trump's cabinet. There is no light coming from the news media. There is no light in America. It has gone. The sun has set on the days of America and is now rising in the east, as it always does. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.